Health is wealth, life is growth, and caring is sharing. Yeah, I think that that's a very, very good conversation in itself to have. I trust that everybody is well, and that's what this is all about. It's about caring enough to share what we can with one another. When it comes down to improving upon ourselves, I really can't think of any other worthy discussion as of right now within inside of the times that we living in. When it comes down to improving upon the overall conditions of life and living. There's certain things that we can't fix, but there's certain things that we can fix. But we gotta care enough to want to put in the work. We gotta care enough. Now it's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually done a live joint, right? But I'm always in the lab. Every day to me is like construction and reconstruction. But every now and then I hit the camera and I come to you live and direct. It doesn't matter if it's a month, 2 months. Sometimes I might hit you several times a week or whatever. But that's me checking in because sometimes I get a new influx of new followers. You know how it is. New friends, new followers, people that never really, probably never saw me live before, and I know that we in a technological age where now it's like, okay, is it a real page? Is it a real person? Is it a credible person? So I believe in transparency, right? But I've been sharing a lot of things with y'all, in regards to, just pointing out different problems, different, just to make you think, because there's so many other things that's going on, and it's easy to neglect things that are right in your face that's having a direct effect on you and your loved ones, in your household, but health is wealth. It's nothing more popular than feeling good, being mobile, being capable, being well, and it's through that process that we are allowed or capable and able to pursue what we want to pursue, and you got to care enough. Care enough. I had a call coming in. You got to care enough to care about yourself. That's where it starts, and that's what I see a lot of people not doing, But I'm here to help those that want to help yourself. I'm not here to try to convince anybody to do anything that they don't want to do. But the way how I see it, we are all being faced with the same problems, the same issues in regards to what's aimed at us. It's just all about, do you care enough to be proactive? Do you care enough about your life and your longevity to do what you can do, to do what you gotta do, to be able to do it better, For those that have already found solutions, I commend you, But it's always room for improvement. And I trust that you'll continue to do that. Because they're advancing, the situation is not getting any better. So we have to become better at protecting ourselves, within inside of the reality when it comes down to our choices. That's how I see it. That's how I live. That's what I do. So, if I can inspire you, put you on to whatever it is that I could put you on to, that'll motivate you to start thinking better and making better decisions, so be it. But I'm also aware of the fact that everybody's not my market. When I say my market, yes, I do make money pointing people in the right direction, of healthier products. But that's just a small fraction of what I do, because everything that I do is not monetized. A large part of the work comes with educating the people, being transparent, being a living representation of what you're talking about. It's a lot of information that we share that is valuable. Everybody's not going to want my help. Everybody's not going to want to be helped, period. I'm not up on any false impression or false, I see life exactly for what it is. So I'm aware of the reality. I understand that when it comes down to natural health, self-improvement, improving upon self, unfortunately that's not a very popular subject in 2024. It's not really the most trending thing, but I can say that we have seen a lot of progress. But I think that it's really sad and unfortunate that being healthy and being well and being our best selves is now seen as being something that's very extravagant. It's seen as something that is extraordinary to be healthy, to be in shape, and I think that that's the narrative that needs to be changed, because in my opinion, I think that that should be the norm. I don't really think that we should have to be celebrated for doing what we ultimately are supposed to be doing. But when you live in an environment, in a society, in a culture wherein that which is dysfunctional, that which is broken, that which doesn't work, the way how it's supposed to, and that becomes the popular narrative, then what happens is when you begin to do the things that actually work for you, when you begin to age slowly, right? When your health is intact and you're still capable and able at a certain age, right? It makes you stand out as though you're doing something that's extraordinary. And some people may argue that, based on the reality of what we're up against, that it is much easier to fall along the wayside, in our thoughts and in our actions. And in that respect, I would probably acknowledge that. But my thing is, how did it get to that point? How do we get to the point wherein our basic health and well-being becomes a luxury, wherein it's seen as something that is extraordinary when it comes down to us taking care of ourselves? I think that in itself is a tragedy. So, that's why I do what I can do and what I do and when it comes down to sharing information. Because, hey, listen, I haven't always been plant-based. I haven't always, been on what I'm on. So I know what it's like, and I'm going to keep telling y'all this. Commercials are repetitive, and they repeatedly tell you about things that are not good for you. They repeatedly keep things inside of our faces that are not healthy for us and that don't have our best interests in mind. So I don't see it as an issue when it comes down to me repeatedly telling you about my past in regards to I haven't always been on plant-based. I done smoked cigarettes, drank liquor, beer, all of that. So I understand when I come across people that have that sense of apathy, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, I hear you. Or, yeah, that might be true, or that is true. I know what it's like to acknowledge facts and still get right back to it, to the self-destruction. That's not my market, though. That's the cigarette man's market. That's the fast food market. They're going to continue to capitalize off of that particular mindset just like they capitalized off of me when I possessed that particular mindset. There is a market, because everybody out here is spending money, fam. Everybody is spending money, and you spending money daily. It's just all about what you spending your money on. That's what's going to have the most direct and the most consistent effects on your day-to-day life and your outcomes. But I understand that it takes time for information to really settle in when it comes down to actually taking action and making a commitment and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this change. I'm not here to whip anybody. I'm here to provide you with the ability to identify with problems that you might not be aware of or that you are already aware of. And I'm also here to provide you with options that I am aware of that actually work. But that doesn't mean that everybody is going to go my way, because it's not about what I want you to do. All I can do, just like anybody, is put you on to information. But what we do with information ultimately is up to us. Which is why, I'm never in my feelings when it comes down to if somebody says, well, I'm going to do this, or I may do this, or I'm interested in this. That's a start to me, because it's a conversation. But it's your money. Just like I got my money, you have your own money. Everybody spends their money how they're going to spend their money. If I tell you where healthier options are at, it's still up to you to make that choice. And I wouldn't want you to do anything different. Why? Because it's not just all about you buying this or buying that. If you're not going to be just as consistent with your self-improvement, with natural supplements, with a change in your diet, with your exercise regimen or what have you, getting your proper rest as you are to smoking cigarettes, then chances are when it comes down to the balance in the scales, the cigarettes are going to win. If you're not just as committed to doing your prebiotics, your probiotics, drinking your water in the right amounts, in the right quality, in the right volume every day, as you are to drinking soda and dairy milk that got all of the antibiotics that they pumping into it now. Whatever you're the most committed to, that's what's going to have the most effect on you. So I'm just a catalyst, but the real work is going to always take place within inside of our own day-to-day lives when there's nobody else there to monitor us, when there's nobody there to influence you, when there's nobody there to motivate you, when there's nobody there to critique you, when there's nobody there to point out what you do know or what you don't know, your securities, your insecurities. At the end of the day, we have to all answer to ourselves. That's what I had to come to realize. Every time I told somebody back in the day when I was smoking cigarettes that I was going to quit, I never quit. Because it was almost like I was you telling other people, because it's like you're really rating yourself based off of what you told somebody else. But that's not where the real true commitment exists at, people. And I'm just using that as an example. Because yeah, I've been plant-based 11 years. But am I all the way out of the fire? No. Why? Because they done contaminated the air. They done contaminated the water. They are selling fake fruit, GMOs, seedless fruits. They putting all types of weird chemicals on top of the fruits and the vegetables. That's why I do supplements. They already have degenerated and depleted the soil of the minerals that our bodies need every day so that they can function properly. So me being plant-based is not like, like the checkmate on health and wellness. That's just me doing what I can as a man to try to keep up with all of these things that are bombarding us on a day-to-day basis. So it's not about trying to make myself look like I'm better than you or you're better than me. Nah, it's just all about what are you willing to commit to within inside of your day-to-day regimen. That's not a choice or decision to me that could be sold to you. All I could do is say, hey, look, your water is toxic. You got microplastics in your water. You got they selling us plastic bottled water with nanoplastics. They finding nanoplastics inside of the fat inside of the brain of the cadavers throughout the autopsies after people are deceased. They finding all of these different micro nanoplastics inside of women's breast milk, the testicle of males, right? The kidney, the liver. You see what I'm saying? So it's a process of learning, and then we get this information, and then we have to make a decision when it comes down to what are we going to do about it. It took me a while to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do something about it. So me helping somebody is not just always about you going through a website and buying a product, because change is a progressive thing. You may have to see the information or hear something or come in contact with something over and over and over and over again before you actually say, hey, you know what, I need to do something about this. Because why? We're hard-headed. And I'm going to say we because I used to be hard-headed. You see what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We have all kind of mechanisms within inside of our minds that have to be bypassed. There are a lot of people out here that are talking about things and presenting things to people that are not true. That's why I always tell the people, don't get caught up in the messenger. You know, I'm an advocate of education. I'm an advocate of reading. You know, I love to read. You know, if you're that type of person, well, okay, you got to read something and it got to saturate in your mind and you got to get an understanding. That may take a little bit of time, because ultimately you have to get to the point in your mind where you understand what's being presented. You may be the type of person that needs to dissect a problem. Some people, you could just tell them about a problem and they can see it right away. Everybody learns in different ways, and everybody absorbs information and comes into a full understanding at different times. You know, it took me smoking cigarettes for 10 years from the age of like 11 to 21 to get the picture. Chest start hurting. So growth in education is a process. But I know what it is to be a hard head. You know, and maybe my head might have been harder than some of y'all heads are, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. Whatever your depth or degree of stubbornness or being hard-headed or whatever, when it comes down to doing better, nobody can rush that process. That's why I don't try to beat people over the head. I'm not here to try to convince nobody or anything. I'm not here to try to debate with you about what you know and what I know. That's not why I'm here. I'm like, hey, take a look at this and utilize your own faculties to make your own decision. Why? Because I've already made my decision. I know what I've seen work on a consistent basis. I know what works for me. I know why I'm not on pharmaceuticals. I'll be 47 next month. I know why I can still run 5-10 miles. I know how I whipped asthma, you know, after, you know, having to use asthma pumps because of me being in toxic environments due to incarceration. See, I make no qualms about letting you know who and what I am and what I come from and what I've been through and none of that. Why? Because I think that that's what the truth is. You know, now it's not to say that, you know, I'm going to get up here and give you all of my intimate details of my life. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, what I am presenting, I'm giving you complete transparency and letting you know how I got to this point. You know, I developed asthma in prison, you know, but when I got out of prison, I defeated asthma, and I definitely didn't defeat asthma with no pharmaceuticals. All the pharmaceuticals do is make you comfortable inside of sickness, but it don't actually get you better. You see what I'm saying? So when I meet people, I'm going to rate you. And when I say rate you, when it comes down to how much time and energy I'm going to put into you, when it comes down to talking to you about your problem, if you choose to talk about that problem, or you're ready, or you're ready to rectify that problem. But I'm not going to be there with you every waking day of the hour to see whether or not if you're following through is what I'm saying. My market is people that are ready to take action. They already done been through the stubbornness. They already done been through the hard-headed stage. They already done been through the doubt. They already done, okay, yeah, some people have been lied to or whatever. But my thing is, if you've been lied to so many times before in your life, that should be a reason for you to be closer or better at being able to recognize the truth. You see what I'm saying? Anybody can be lied to, but if you really about the truth and you really say you are official, you should be able to know what's real when you come in contact with it. And you should be less fearful of lies. Why? Because if you already done been straight-laced and you already know what time it is, then you should know bullshit when you see it. You should be much better at being able to spot some bullshit when you hear it. So to me, if you really real and you really know about the truth, you're supposed to be able to identify with what's real when you come in contact with it. And that's why I'm an advocate of the information. So we got to be a part of the change. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't get paid for pointing people in the right direction. And at the end of the day, I own that because these are products that I use. How many products that are hurting you that you use every day or have been using throughout your life that are costing you the quality of your health and your well-being, and the company is not paying you, and you showing it off saying, oh, because you like the bottle or you like how it tastes or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So we all got to make money. The only thing is, I don't make products. I don't package products. I don't ship products. But if a company that I shop with anyway that has proven to work, the products are good, and I tell you about it, and you shop because I pointed you in that direction, and they decide to break me off a little change, I'm not about to send that money back. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I feel very confident in what I'm telling you is because I know I'm thorough. I know that I'm living what I tell you. I know I exercise. I know I'm plant-based. I'm not saying you have to be plant-based. What I'm saying is that a lot of times when people are trying to sell you on a certain point, you see what I'm saying? When money is involved, they're not even using the products like these celebrities. They're not using those products. They're just getting paid to tell you to use those products. That's the difference. But because they already have maximum influence over your mind, you trust their recommendation because of who and what they are to you in your mind. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm suggesting for you to look at what you're already doing, look at the quality of the information and the products, and I'm telling you to exercise, change your diet, don't let it be a trend, pay attention to what you're putting inside of your body. You're going to get way more value from people like me because I'm not the only one that are actually doing the things, doing the self-work, have done the self-work, have been through the toxicity, have been through the bad habits, you know what I'm saying, and have come up out of it. Because I see myself and people like myself as being living proof that it can be done. And that's why I do not deal with excuses. It's either you want to change or not. And you're not doing it for me. You're not doing me or anybody a favor by improving upon your own life. Everybody got to make money out here. But a part of my health regimen is me owning my own time. A part of my health regimen is living a very low stress life. That's why I don't make a good employee. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get mine how I get it, and I respect how I get it because I get paid for helping other people to be better. No different than a what they call them, a personal trainer. You know, except I deal with nutrition. I deal with supplements that I use, right? But a large part of this work comes with caring and sharing. Because everybody that I speak to, everybody that asks me a question, everybody's not going to buy a product. But I'm not just speaking to you because I want you to buy a product. No. Because I have been talking to people about natural health improvement when I was in prison. I became plant-based in prison. I wasn't monetized. Why? Because I give a fuck. That's what you need to understand about people like myself, because I'm not the only one. So I'm not going to be reduced as if like, yo, I'm just doing this just because I want to get paid. But I'm not about to leave no money on the table either, if it's there and it's legit. You see what I'm saying? I've been telling you about what I'm telling you about before I even knew that this particular company that I'm shopping with ever even existed. That's what you need to understand about Tamar Brown, and those who know me know my African name, which is Kwajo Ajiman. But you can just call me Kwajo if you on that path. But I don't seek to force my attribute and my cultural core upon the people. Why? Because I overstand, and those that understand what overstand is, that all of the people are not going to be able to relate with me on a personal level in that particular way. And I'm not trying to exclude anybody from this information because it's universal information. And I think that that's where the conscious community goes wrong. In a lot of cases, you're cutting off the masses because you come into a certain knowledge base or a school of thought. And I don't think that's what the work is really all about. It's just like if when a person goes to medical school, they don't get a medical degree and then just help other doctors. No, the real work to me exists in the masses, because those are the people that need the information the most, the people that don't know. Because there are a lot of people out here that are suffering. You suffering from high blood pressure. You suffering from diabetes. You want to lose weight. You want to be financially free. You want to have more time to spend with your family and your friends. You want to travel and see the world. But it's like that desire has not been attached to the right methodology. You see? And just because you don't know who Imhotep was, just because you don't have archaic information or uncommon information doesn't mean that you're still not a good person. Because I've met a lot of people who were straight laced with all of the information that you could possibly think of on an archaic and uncommon level, and they were still despicable people. Because anybody could read 100 books and regurgitate information and spit the lessons and break down the cosmos, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really truly define the character or the intention of the person. And that's how a lot of y'all out here are getting rocked to sleep, because you got somebody that could get up here on a camera and be totally charismatic and magnetic and charismatic and spit it in a million different ways and captivate your mind with their charisma and hypnotize your mind in such a way wherein you feeling as if like you just met your next savior. And then they take you to the bank. One thing about me, I'm not in nobody's inbox asking you for no donation. I'm in nobody's inbox asking you for no GoFundMe. You'll never ever see me put my Cash App up here. I'm not asking nobody for no free money. Anything that I get is because I earned it. How do I earn it? I give you the information that you need in order to make better decisions for yourself, and the rest is left up to you. I establish and I build real relationships. I'm very transparent. If you can show me where I've told a lie, you may say, hey, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with how you think. I don't agree with what you're talking about. Those are all personal talking points, I can assure you, on a sociable level. But when it comes down to natural health, when it comes down to the cellular hydration of your body, when it comes down to teaching you and educating you and pointing you in the right direction of how to naturally burn fat, when it comes down to self-improvement, show me where the lie is at. Show me the lie. Show me the manipulation. I'm giving you the information to process through your own mind so that you can make your own decision. With a company that I have been shopping with consistently, and I've been using these products every day for the last 5 years. And I'm showing you my results. You see what I'm saying? In the most respectful way that I can. You see what I'm saying? Because I understand the mind. I lived in the prisons. I've talked to all different types of people throughout a 13-year span. You know, and it's, I got brothers that was locked up, not blood brothers like out of the same womb, but my brothers of the struggle that have done 20 years, 25 years, 27 years. You know, got out in their right mind. I helped guys in prison to lose weight naturally. I was that guy, working out with them every day, doing sit-ups with them every day, reading with them, ordering books, reading the books, chopping up the information. It's a whole nother level of solidarity that if you never been through it, and I'm not saying you should want to go through it, mind you, but I am my experience, and I own that shit. I'm not going to act like I'm not who I am. I'm not going to try to become a caricature of myself on this social media. 'Cause I wasn't socialized by social media. I didn't even know what no Facebook was. Because when I got locked up, it was 2000. I got locked up October 2000. I got out October 2013. So even though I've been out, next month it'll be 11 years, a lot of times people were like, well, you've been out a long time. You can't try to tell me what kind of impact a situation had on my mind and how I was conditioned and what I had to do to survive. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about soldiers that go to a battlefield for 6 months to a year or 2 years and do tours. I was in a war zone for 13 years. What are you talking about? You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to utilize my experiences to teach. I'm going to utilize my experiences because it's not to say that I am my experience in regards to like, oh, well, this is what shaped and molded me now. Because I think that I was very fortunate because I did constructive time. It didn't destroy me. It didn't turn me into a lesser form of myself. So I'm giving you this so that you know who and what you're dealing with when it comes down to why you see me doing what I'm doing. This work, I've been doing this work for a long time. Just because I'm telling you about supplements, that's just a sidebar. If you want to get the products, you get the products. If you don't, then you won't, right? But it don't change the message. My main message is people do better. You know, if anything, try to stay out of prison. But don't just try to stay out of prison. Stay out of the hospital. Stay off of insulin. Stay off of statin drugs. Stay off of chemo. Stay off of dialysis. See, it's not just a singular thing that I'm talking about. Because the problems that our people are faced with out here are all encompassing. If you dodge prison, then did you dodge that bullet that flew past your head? Or if you dodge prison and you dodge the bullets that flew past your head, did you dodge high blood pressure? Did you dodge a early death, or early grave? It's so many things out here that we gotta dodge. There's so many things out here that we gotta defend against. That's what I'm an advocate of. Self-defense. Not just health, not just the streets. You may have to dodge a heart attack in a stressful situation at work. My point is, health is wealth. Life is growth. Sharing is caring. So we share what we can share so we can continue to be our better selves. You see what I'm saying? And you're looking at a success. And I'm not talking about like monetary, property, all that. I'm talking about every day that I'm on the streets, I'm successful. Trust me. Every day that I'm able to speak into your life and to share value that you could use in order to enlighten yourself, every day that I'm present, I'm successful. Why? Because that's my reality. because I know what I'm faced with. I know what I've been through, and I know I know what's in front of me. You see what I'm saying? I haven't recidivized. I'm successful because I have lost a lot of brothers to recidivism. I got brothers right now that I'm waiting that then did 10, 11 years, then got out and ended up in a right back. Got to wait for them to come back out. You see what I'm saying? Brothers that get a good start, off to a good start. All it takes is one boom, one slip, one bad decision. And people like me can be right back in the belly of the beast. That's why I move how I move. That's why I'm seen when I want to be seen. I'm not one of those people that, and I wouldn't suggest that anybody should be that way. But when you make a move, when you make a decision, when you place yourself in a certain position, you got to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're going to do it. And you got to be able to identify with the changes in the ebbs and the flows. You see what I'm saying? So I am successful in a lot of ways that a lot of people may not be able to relate to. But for those that can, they do and they will. So I'm an activist. You know, I was the brother on the inside grieving the conditions that were deplorable. My respiratory took a hit because I didn't smoke. It was poor ventilation. A lot of times you in situations inside there wherein before they outlawed or black marketed the tobacco here in Georgia, it might be 20, 30 cigarettes going at a time, but that was the reality. I had my first asthma attack 2005. I was in Folkestone, Georgia, at a camp called D. Ray James. But I think they closed that prison down, right? But nevertheless, I was in an open dorm. I wasn't born with asthma. It took me 11 years to take back control of my respiratory. 3 years after I had got out. What was I doing in prison? Reading about herbs, reading about different properties, reading about what could I do once I got out to take back the quality of the control of my lungs. Why? Because I'm a fighter. You got to continue to fight. That's why I really can't really grasp the excuses out here. Because you have access to everything that you need out here. But in a lot of cases, you just won't go to it. You won't use it. And it's like you'll rather suffer. You'll rather suffer when you got access to everything that you need. And here it was, I'm in prison, 05, struggling to breathe. Waking up in prison cells 2, 3 in the morning. Because I suffered for 4 years before I went and got my first asthma pump. Because like I told y'all in the beginning, I'm very stubborn. I know what it's like to be stubborn. But sometimes your strength could hurt you. Sometimes your strength that you call strength could kill you. Sometimes you have to you have to have a little bit of humility to admit to yourself that, hey, you know what? I think I need to go up here to this medical and see about myself, because I just had an asthma attack that dropped me to my damn knees on this damn prison yard. I'm not about to die up in this piece trying to be strong. But in environments like that, you're conscious of the fact that you don't want to be looked at as weak. So I get it. But even in a weakness, you can still be mighty. How is that? You learn how to defeat that weakness. I didn't stop running. I didn't stop working out. And that's one of the main reasons why I became plant-based in prison. Now, I see people telling me, you know, I don't think that I could be plant-based. It's not that you can't be. And I'm not saying that you want to be. You might not want to be plant-based. But what I'm saying is, let's just keep it real. You just don't want to do it. Because if I could do it in prison, where I got limited options, they lock me down in a hole, I'm in isolation, I don't have access to trade off my meat for the vegetables and the fruits like how I could when I was in population. I'm in isolation summers at a time, 23-hour lockdown, right? And I'm losing weight. One time I lost 10 pounds, sticking to my word that I made to myself. All I had access to was the orderlies. When they bring those trays, I gotta shout out the flap to all of the other brothers that's locked up in the unit. Who want this chicken for your vegetables and your fruit? So when you talk about commitment, if you committed to something, you just gonna commit to it. You can't tell me that it's something that you want to do, but I can't do it, or nah, you just don't want to do it. Just keep it real, and we can respect that, because it was a time where I didn't care neither. There was a time where I didn't really give a fuck, and I'm not saying that in a disrespectful manner, but some of y'all need it like that, because I believe that you think that in some cases that you're the only one that feel that way. And you might think that you're the only one that think and feel that way. And it's as if like there's no way out of that mindset. And that's a lie. They gave me 25 years, do 13. I went to trial, fam. You know what I'm saying? I tested death and all that. You know? So let's stop using excuses for why you're not making better choices. That's what I'm saying. There is no excuse. Just keep it. I met dudes in prison, because I got to use my experience to really keep it real. I met guys that told me, hey, yeah, I got asthma, but I'm going to keep smoking. This is how I cope. I can respect that. I didn't come up around dudes that made empty excuses to try to tell a person what they want to hear. No, be a man. Be a man, be a woman, and say, hey, you know what? I like to do this, and I'm willing to take what comes with it. Nobody else can say anything to you about that, about what you're doing. But I'm here for those that are tired of making excuses. You're ready for change. You want what works. Am I saying that what I'm talking about is the end all be all? No. Got a brother right here. Brother Will, if you want some sea moss, that's the sea moss man. You know, I got another sister, like I got a sister on my page, she do sea moss. You know, whatever it is that you want out here, you can get it. So I don't want to hear about, I can't do this. Nah, there's no such thing as you can't. You don't want to. You can add minerals to your water every day. What's that? Less than $2 to $3 a day? And you work? You got businesses? Y'all get money out here? Y'all on the free world. How you don't got $3 a day to improve upon your life? $5 a day. A cup of coffee at Starbucks costs more than that after you buy what you want and pay the taxes. You'll buy Starbucks every day and you can afford that, but you can't afford alkaline minerals. You can't afford to buy some fruits. You can't afford to buy you a juicer to make you afford yourselves out here what you want to afford yourselves. So that's why I say it's not a debate. We're not here to convince anybody of anything. It's all about what you really care about. I cared about my life to the degree where I did not accept those prison doctors telling me that I was going to have asthma for the rest of my life. I ain't received that. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just need to get up out of here, get to a cleaner water source, cleaner environment, right? And keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm confident that I will get my lungs back. And that's exactly what I did. 2016, I was turned on to a natural remedy. And it was the apple cider. That was before I even found out about the company that I'm telling y'all about to get y'all supplements. I don't get up here and lie and say, well, I use these products to heal myself. Nah, because I would be lying. I'm not going to lie to you. You see what I'm saying? I took back my lungs before I found out about Zuma Worldwide and these minerals and all of this right here. But had I known about this, I would have been on that silver, but I didn't know about silver hydrosol at that time. But it was the apple cider vinegar, the lemon juice, and the honey that gave me my lungs back. I tried the feverfew. I tried every kind of maca root. I tried Corella. I was going to the herbal stores. I was doing all of that. But nothing else worked for me. Now, is that going to work for you? I can't tell you that. Everybody's solution tends to be different. Why? Because everybody's habits are different. Everybody has a different blood type. Everybody has a different, have different habits, different ways, different levels of stress or whatever. That's what worked for me. And I haven't hit an asthma pump since August of 2016. August of 2016 is the last time I touched the asthma pump. And that's on my life. So I'm telling y'all these things because I don't want you looking at me like I'm that guy that's just up here trying to get you to buy something just so I can make money off of you. I've been doing this work, fam. Anybody that did time with me will tell you that I've been running, been doing calisthenics, been putting in the work, been encouraging our people to do better as I was doing the work on myself. You see what I'm saying? That's how I did my time. Chess, reading, calisthenics, running, and banging on them officials inside of them prison systems that had us living in distasteful environmental conditions. Because just like how you got people that's trying to hold you accountable, they got to be held accountable too when it comes down to maintaining a certain standard if they consider themselves to be an authority. It's not a one-way street. That was me. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm here letting you know about what I can let you know about to improve upon yourself. The rest is up to y'all. So I say all of that to say it's a beautiful day. I ain't about to be up here all day, but it's been a while since I chopped it up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Do the best you can. The information that you coming across now, if you're not ready to make the change, just like how I was it back in the day, it's because of what was shared with me before I went to prison. That's what allowed me to have the information that I needed later on in life. So sometimes you got to come in contact with information in the here and now, but you might not implement that information until 2 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now. Or you might be ready right now, or next week. I'm not sitting around with looking at a clock wondering about when you ready to make a change in your life or whether or not you're going to choose to take my advice. What I am a part of the solutions. I am a part of that spectrum within our here and now, our lifespan, our lifetime. I am a part of that energy that chooses to be a part of the solution. I know what it's like to be a part of the problem. You see what I'm saying? I know what it's like to raise hell. I know what it's like to be self-destructive. I know what it's like. I know about consequences. You see what I'm saying? But I also know what it's like to come up out of that shit and to be proactive. Now, I believe in self-defense on all levels. But a lot of things can be avoided. It's just like a fight. I'm not telling you not to learn how to fight. Get your ground game right. Get your hands right. Get your, master the 8 limbs or whatever it is that whatever it is that you need to master. But you win most battles by not having to fight. How do you do that? By knowing how to think. You shouldn't have to be faced with high blood pressure in order to defeat high blood pressure. Most battles can be defeated by not even having to fight that battle. You see what I'm saying? You may be somebody, you shouldn't have to go to prison to defeat prison. I was hard-headed. So I ended up in a lot of situations, but I got my lessons. That's manhood. That's womanhood. If I talk to a young brother and they bent on what they bent on, I can relate. Because I was bent on what I was bent on. That they may very well have to go that route in order for them to get their lessons. You can't save everybody or deter everybody. Some of us got to go through it in order to get to it. Regardless of how we get to it, hopefully you'll get your lessons how you got to get your lessons, whether if it's the wise way or the hard way. It doesn't matter as long as you get it. That's my message to you today. Health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? Life is growth. And sometimes it can be painful. Sometimes it might take you some time to get there. Everybody is not going to have an easy path. Everybody is not going to get there at the same time. As long as you get there. Because I done met young fools and I done met old fools. You see what I'm saying? A fool is a fool. And we all been fools. Because I know I sure have. But you look back on it and you say, hey, wow. I have gratitude that I made it through that right there. Now I see. Now I'm clearer. Now I have more clarity. Now I have the knowledge. Not just the knowledge. I have the ability to apply it, to implement it, to get the results that I need. You see? So with that, take care of yourselves. Be patient with yourselves. Be real with yourself. Identify with where you're at in your own personal growth. And implement what you're going to implement. And be as consistent as you can. If you fall off, fuck it. We all have fallen off. Get back up. Don't lay there. I seen that too, fam. I seen guys that didn't want to take showers no more. Gained 50, 60, 70 pounds, 100 pounds. Depressed. Right? But I've also watched them snap out of it. I've watched guys come back, bounce back. You know? So I've seen the self-destruction. I've seen the death. I've seen the deterioration. I've seen the bodies falling around me. And that's why I take life as serious as I take it. That's why I value my life and others the way that I value my life and others now. Why? Because I earned that shit. I paid my dues, still paying my dues. And so are you. That's why we still here. So let's keep on sharing the right thing, doing the right thing, enlightening those that want to be enlightened, continue to enlighten ourselves because we forever the student. You know what I'm saying? There's always something new to learn. You know? Value each day. Because it's a lot of people that didn't make it. It's a lot of people that was telling me, even I had counselors, people telling me I wasn't going to make it. Don't let nobody else speak death inside your life. And when I say death, I'm not talking about the spiritual transition and transcending this plane. I'm talking about you giving up on your better self and becoming a lesser version of yourself. Because I see there's a lot of people that physically get out of situations, but they really didn't really survive inside. True survival is mind, body, and soul. You see what I'm saying? Don't leave no part of yourself behind in the battlefield. You see what I'm saying? So with that, take care of yourselves. You know, I'm not on no time frame. Whenever I feel inspired to get up here and talk my talk, I'm going to do it. You say, as long as I'm alive and well and I'm free and able to do it. Anybody got any questions or concerns? You know, if you are looking for some healthier options, you already know that they are available. If I don't have access to it, I know people that do. Because I can't provide you, you know, with what I don't have access to. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't have it, it's brothers and sisters on my page that do. It's a healthy space. It's a space of growth and information sharing. Everybody got to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get in nobody's way of eating. You know? Because I respect what we doing. We're part of the solutions. You know? So with that, take care of yourselves. Peace and blessings. Health is wealth. Caring and sharing. Life is growth. And I'm out of here.